Hi, and welcome to the March 2024 Psychic Forecast. And my first question, you guys, have you seen the movie When the World Stood Still, either version? And I'll explain why that's relevant in a second. But while you're pondering that, for today, on today's menu, we have the astrology and numerology that's important for March. I wasn't going to do any channeled messages at all because I just wasn't going to do that this month because nothing came last night. And as I was preparing my notes, Spirit came through, and I whipped out 5 pages of automatic writing in record time. So I'm going to read the messages from Spirit from the master teachers that I got earlier today. I'll warn you right now, it's rough because I didn't transcribe it. I didn't have time. So we'll see if I can actually read my writing. But we have that. Then we have some psychic forecasts, some energy predictions. We'll put it that way. A few specific events, but nothing. I'm not really like a world prognosticator. I'm a medium, but sometimes I do get major global events that come through. So I'll read those off. I've got everything on my notes. We've got a couple of practices that are good for this month, March 2024. I almost said 2021 for some reason. March 2024. I've got divination cards. So we're going to do this, and we're starting early. We're starting at 6 rather than 7. Why are we starting at 6 instead of 7? Because on Mr. Floyd Channeling's channel, he's going to do live channeling for us. Not here on the Medium channel, Mr. Floyd Channeling channel. So that he's going to do that at 7:00 Eastern time. That's 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific, 6 Central, and that's basically it. So I'll say a few quick hellos, and we're going to jump right on into this. You're welcome, Mr. Floyd. So. Oh gosh, where's my cursor? Not cursor. You're most welcome. So that's what it looks like. So hi horses, hi Millie, hi White Moon readings. Welcome. And no, don't know that movie. Don't know When the Earth Stood Still. I will explain that in a second. Oh my God, what a classic movie! And Keanu Reeves did a remake of it also. And I don't remember when. It's a 1951 movie. It's a classic. But anyways, hi Susan, Roseanne, Doreen of Children's School of Yoga. Welcome, Millie, Mr. Floydson, Suzanne. Thank you, Jody. All right. Hi, Rosie, Angela, and White Moon readings. Welcome. We love to have other readers and psychics and mystics and light workers come with us. And such. So Mr. Floyd explaining a little bit about this. So this last night's Fear Mind family. Yeah, that was last night, right? And time to come over and such. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to whip this out in adequate time. But if we run a little bit late. All right. Page 1. And anybody that's new, I'm not going to be so involved with the comments, but I love your comments. I'll try to keep an eye on it, but I have a lot of information to whip out here for you. So March 2024, the day the Earth stood still. So this was a 1951 movie. It's brilliant sci-fi for its era. Basically, extraterrestrials came to Earth. They presented a device, and somebody, one of the militaries got nervous and shot the alien. Basically, I'm going to make this story short. So to make a long story short. And I don't remember all the details. I mean, a nice couple or nice lady took in the aliens. It was a really, really good movie. But the crux of it is that these beings were here to help humanity, but humanity, being so nervous and everything, thought that they were a major threat, and they really needed. Yeah, and we were developing nuclear capabilities. That's why more extraterrestrials really did start to show up here on Earth when we started to mess around with nuclear energy and stuff like that. So what they did is they basically shut all electricity off for an hour or a half hour or something like that, except for hospitals and emergencies. So these aliens were so advanced, they shut everything off. and they wanted to demonstrate, firstly, how vulnerable this planet is, that it wouldn't take much to shut everything down, and secondly, to wake humanity up, because at that time they found that we were heading in a poor direction, and we really still are, although more people are awakening. So anyway, that's the crux of the movie. So let me get it into what's going on in March. Numerology, it's a universal 11 month. We love the number 11. That's my life path number. It's spirituality, it's elevation, right? It's the same prefix as elevator and elevation. What a lot of people don't know, although you guys here know it because you've heard me say it 1,000,011 times, is that in Chaldean numerology and in the old system of tarot, they changed the numbers in the 1800s, but in the old system of tarot, key 11 was the strength card, which is the lady with the infinity sign taming the lion. That was key 11. It got changed to key 8. And in Chaldean numerology, the symbol is lions muzzles with clenched fists. So the energy of number 11 helps us to overcome the lower nature, whether that's in our personal lives or in the society in general. It's a great energy to overcome those habits, those programs, all that stuff that keeps us at a lower vibration. So this is a real gateway month for a lot of us to overcome this stuff, riding the powerful forces of the numerology of number 11. So in any event, so 609 now. Thanks, Millie, for keeping us at time here. So on March, I'm just a couple of astrological things. I'd be here for 2 hours if I was to do the whole astrology forecast. Check out Armand Diaz Integral Astrology channel. He does some very detailed and very accurate astrology information on his channel. Water and glasses. So March 10th, there's another 20 degrees new moon. 20 is in Chaldean numerology is the awakener, and in the tarot it's the judgment card, the awakening. Will be the 5th, or is it the 6th? It's the 5th or 6th straight moon, straight 20-degree new moon. That happens in the late fall and winter months, that it keeps repeating the same degree for several months over, or it goes 1 degree off. This is in Pisces. Pisces is the subconscious. So this is really very succinct for awakening things in the subconscious. We're 95% subconscious. But the idea of spiritual awakening, you want to dissolve those filters. We don't want a subconscious. But the problem is that our subconscious mind, we're programmed to stuff everything we don't want to see, all our suppressed pain and trauma. We stuff into the subconscious, and we waste a lot of energy by keeping those barriers very strong, so we don't have to feel these things. So when we start to meditate, a lot of people have a hard time. They get anxiety or other things mess with them. Why does that happen? Because the filters between subconscious and conscious start to dissolve when you get present. It's a beautiful thing, only you probably, if you're not used to it, you get very anxious or whatever. So anyways, that's part of the goal. That's what awakening means. Until we awaken our subconscious minds, at least a significant portion of it, we're still sleepers. Basically, we're only 5% conscious. So anyway, so that's the new moon. The full moon happens. I didn't write the date down. Oh, darn it. Well, it's about 14 to 15 days after. So around March 25th, I think, is the full moon. That's at 5 degrees Libra, and that's the first of two powerful eclipses that are happening during the Libra Aries stellium, because that's where the lunar nodes are. So that's where the eclipses are going to be on the new and full moon. So at 5 degrees Libra, that's going to really hit the government systems. Libra's it's Venus ruled, but Saturn's exalted in the sign Libra. So it's really going to affect government, a lot of disclosures of things that are hidden. So anyway, also a couple of other interesting transits. Mercury is going to go into Aries on March the 10th. Venus is going to hit Pisces on March 11th. So right around that time, it's very changing energy. Mars enters Pisces on March 22nd. Uranus hits 2 squares on the week of the 3rd, one with Venus and one with Mars. Now, because Pluto just entered Aquarius, things that Uranus does is very telling. That's the planet of surprises, changes, evolution, and revolution. One of them's with Mars, one is with Venus. Mars is like the wars, Venus is like the money and the economy. So yeah, very powerful energy that's happening. And what else? Pluto in Aquarius with that's going on. Now keep in mind it's 3-3 and 3-9, so the 3-6-9 code is very active on the third month. March is the third month. And as we explained sometimes, the number 3 and its multiples explains that's the number of frequency and vibration. Like 0, 1, and 2 is the physical world. 0 is the void. 1 is manifestation. 2 is the duality. And 3 is the forces that act on the physical universe. 3, 6, 9, and then beyond. And Nikola Tesla has a lot to say about the 3, 6, 9. So this is happening. So this is a lot of energy. So what did we write down here? Pluto in Aquarius provides fuel for the change. It shakes up the status quo. Pluto in Aquarius provides fuel. Expect more protests, things to come tumbling down in the economy and in the government and stuff like that. More to be now. Oh, by the way, I meant to announce this in the beginning. 33 are on the chat now. I meant to announce this in the beginning, but keeping the 369 code today, March, what day is it? The 27th. That's a 9. 2 and 7 is 9. So 327 is a 9. The Medium channel hit 9,000 subscribers. Yay us! Yay! But the reason I wanted to mention this is I'm going to do a little contest for a free reading. But to be fair, you'll have to find the community posts. That's the only place that I'm going to take comments. And I just posted it right before I came on. So if you get the community tab, find my latest post. This is for a free reading, and the objective is to guess or predict when the channel is going to hit 10,000 subscribers. And to keep things in perspective, we hit 8,000 on January the 11th. So, but also you can use that as a measure, because the way YouTube works is it's really kind of like waves and then lulls. Like I'll have a wave where I'll hit 50 subscribers in one day, 40 in another, then it'll slow down, then I might be -1 subscriber the next day. So it it's it changes. The trajectory of subscribers changes, and in YouTube, subscribers are definitely not the be all and the end all. They're just a basic loose measure of how your channel's growing, but it's just a number. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. So yeah, I thought that was a cool contest. Yeah. We're about 3.5 years old. It's been slow and steady wins the race here in the Medium channel. We haven't gone mega viral on anything. We've been building the community, but it's been gradually increasing. The building of the channel has been on a gradual upslope, which I'm very, very happy to say. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. That's the 2024, March 2024 forecast. This is all going to be read. This is my automatic writing. The master teachers are a collective of energies or beings, interdimensional in nature, that work with me in other channels here on the planet. And all right, so really page 1. I have to where do we start? Okay, no, okay. See, I warned you. This one came up very quick. All right, let's see. We'll have it going anyway. Thank you, Healing Elements, for that. Appreciate you, and everybody else that's congratulating me. Thank you so much. It's us, though. It's our channel, basically. I mean, yeah, I'm the founder and the facilitator of most of the activities here. I just look at this as a community, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. So thank you. So here we go from the master teachers. Are you ready for the big shaking? There is a big energy bomb dropping in this world. Peaking around the middle of March, you may sense this happening, but most will not. The effects will happen through August of this year. So in other words, it's not going to just change it one day. So I feel like coming into August is going to be another really big month. This is not violence. It is not a cosmic war. just because we're using the word bomb. It is a cleaning and clearing of the corruption in your systems that must be shaken. Oh, God, my writing is very atrocious. Like I said, I whipped this out in, God, I don't know how long, minutes. What will be evidence are new spikes in solar flares. So these are things that we'll see as evidence around this time. New spikes in solar flares, human frequencies, and other measures of energy or changes of energy. It's been a gestation time. This bomb is the birth. So we've been in a gestation leading up to now. This bomb is the birth. A brand new frequency is born in your world. New streams of information to follow from the central sun and galactic center that will affect and change the thought currents on your world. This is a rippling effect. The dark entities vying for control will not be prepared for this. Your corrupt leaders, with all their arcane knowledge, cannot prepare, and it is beyond their capacity to understand. Let's just say they will feel the heat and will no longer be able to keep up with the global awakening and alter their agendas to clamp down on world control, which is basically what they've been doing the last several years. For those on the path, new insights into some of the health challenges many face come to light. It is more than ascension symptoms. It is a complete transformation. And though the body will only change appearance slightly, your energy bodies develop new sections, new shapes and colors, and grow in sizes. This is how the ascended masters will recognize you as an awakening person or a light worker, way show, or whatever word you want to use, and assist you in preparing for the reality shift and transition to higher dimensional interaction. And just to explain that, Dolores Cannon, amongst others, has a very interesting and a theory that I believe that this reality is going to shift into two, or it's happening. There's like a higher timeline and a lower timeline. I don't think it's quite as black and white as that, but some of us are going to shift it into different timelines and realities, basically what they're saying. All right. So where are we? Okay. Many of your gifts, some you may have only read, many of your gifts as a collective, I guess, some or many of your gifts as humans, some you may have only read in the Bible or other sacred texts. You start to exhibit. This can include walking on water, transmutation of matter, bringing Lazarus to life. All that stuff it is actually, from what they're saying, it's not only possible, a lot of people are going to learn how to do miracles like that. Soon the aging process will slow down in humans. Incurable diseases will be cured. This shift in consciousness will result in new frequency devices to assist and improve your health. But it starts from within. It starts with cultivating the frequencies from within, and then collectively we're able to create devices to enhance that, which is kind of like what happened in Atlantis, apparently. Devices currently available, like med beds, are not yet complete, not ready, and are not being prepared and are being and are not ready and are being prepared and handled incorrectly at this time. So, a little bit of a weight on the med beds for those of you that are following that from what they're saying. I mean, I don't know, but this is what came through. Soon you will develop abilities in your dream time to astral travel and develop awareness of other dimensions. Soon you will be able to use your mind to end much suffering. But now is the shift. This is the time of the shaking you've seen in the prophecies. The Mayan prophecies come to mind. The Hopi prophecies, because they use the word shaking in those prophecies. It could be the minds too. Prepare now. Prepare your minds by cultivating presence and the heart, mind, and spirit connection, which we talk about here all the time. Prepare your bodies by detoxing, change your diet, and visualizing your intentions for developing great health. Call on spirit. Once you bring heart, mind, and spirit into alignment or coherence, as this channel likes to say, that's when your gifts will open for you, and the frequencies are supporting that now. That's when the toxins from the air, the man-made pathogen, and vaccines leave the body as its energy signatures cleverly programmed into you dismantle, which is a heavy statement if you're following that. That's when it will all fall into place and you'll realize your world is an illusion and you had the knowledge all along. The shaking of March 2024 will align your energy field so all your gifts and the knowledge of what you are coming into your consciousness as you dissolve the filters between conscious and subconscious and you discover who you are, what your life purpose and new earth is, and how you can develop your superhuman abilities. It's been building the fifth shaking is happening. All that needs to clear will clear and human realignment begins to take shape. And this will continue to build well after March 2024 shift. If you are here with us, you will quantum shift into your higher timelines now and will be part of the team to help the planet and the consciousness to purge, shift, heal, and rebuild on the foundation of universal love. All right. That's what I got for that. All right. So it looks like you guys are talking about med beds. I think. Yeah, from what I understand, there are med beds. They are a real thing. I mean, I've never seen one, I've never worked with one, but from what I understand, they are being developed. They are a real thing. So, they're giving us a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a caution on it, but to maybe curb your enthusiasm for now. Things still need to happen. I think a lot of it is more the corruption and trying to block these technologies from being available. To be honest, but anyways. So here we're saying things that came up: lots of fires, floods, etc. I was seeing a lot with fires, and not too inconspicuously, I guess. There's actually been a heat wave in the southern plains, and there's been fires because of the dryness, the wind, and the fires. Somewhere, I think it was like McAllister. They're expecting a high of 98 somewhere in Texas. Ridiculous for February. Not completely unheard of, but once maybe 20, 30 years. I mean, this is happening every 3 or 4 years now. Anyway, so fires, floods could be big Atlantic storm towards mid-month off the coast. I talked about this in February, and I was actually delivering the information. They actually corrected me and said, Mark, we'll see. The big storm that I thought was going to be in the east was in the west. I'll put it that way. And predictions are not 100% accurate. There's timeline variances. Everything's fluid or whatever. Um, a lot of these are about weather now. Suffice it to say, the climate's changing. There's going to be more weather in the news. End of story. But heavy rains in the southwest could flood deserts. They were saying news that winter was the warmest ever is likely to come out. February being the warmest month, likely to come out. Lows. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, yeah, a lot of I just jotted a lot of these down. Some lawsuits or copyright infringements may come up a lot around AI use and stuff like that. So keep an eye on the AI technology, the robotics, and all that stuff. There's been some really interesting reveals around that. Um, and how you remember the movie The Terminator? Was that a documentary or was that science fiction? Because they actually have robots capable of firing rounds of machine guns and stuff like that. I saw bits of an interview with Elon Musk on that, by the way. So fun stuff, right? Bombing in the Middle East. So there could be a big uptake in war, basically. Unfortunately, possible terrorist attack. I was getting Paris or Europe, but the states are on notice also. Sometimes terrorist attack are really internal jobs in order to create a certain agenda and a certain mindset. So be aware of that also. I'm not saying 9/11, but certainly those two numbers popped up in my mind. But of course, I don't know that to be true. So we're not saying that here. and respect to those that lost loved ones and those that perished in that disaster also, not making light of anything. So what else? Yeah, I was seeing Trump very engaged with meetings. That would be Donald Trump, our ex-president, in case you forgot about him. Just kidding. Very engaged with meetings with people, using indictments to fuel his campaigns. Gets some very unlikely supporters. So I'm leaning towards not necessarily Biden, but somebody else other than Trump being elected in 2024. But that said, I have not gotten any clear-cut information about that. It could be, I'll just put it that way. There's a lot of possible writing on the wall there. Now we see Earth's energy continue to ramp up. This can continue or increase natural disasters like earthquakes, geological events. We're also finding it as the Earth, the frequencies are increasing. Most people that are here with us today know that. And a lot of people know that already, or are you just experiencing it? That continues to happen. But what happens, because the earth is a living being and we are the earth and the earth is us, like every, atom in our body came from the earth, which, ultimately came from the cosmos. So basically, as the vibration increases, it increases through the earth. Karma gets released, stored energy gets released. A lot of stored energy is getting released in the Middle East, Israel, Palestine, an area that's had a lot of bloodshed, basically. So what's going on? There's renewed aggressions there. There's renewed bloodshed. Also in Eastern Europe, like Ukraine and Russia, so unfortunately, it's horrible what's happening, and God, I'm so grateful that I'm not in a war torn area like so many of my brothers and sisters on this planet are. But can you imagine how horrible? But the thing is, we as empaths, we can't just go into the suffering of the world. We have to flip the script, so to speak. In other words, if you're an empath or a highly sensitive person, it doesn't mean that you just feel things. It means that you're emotionally sensitive and aware, and you can actually create your own emotion and send that into the collective rather than the other way around. So project love, be positive, be grateful, and send that out into the collective. Anytime you feel the all the pain and suffering that's going on, flip that script basically and flip that. So we see from okay. So anyway, so that's part of what happened. As energy increases, it released the stored energy in the earth field. Just like as we are awakening and the energy increases within us, it starts to release things that are stored in our subconscious. And sometimes it creates problems in our lives. But if we can just work through those problems, then we come to an epiphany, an awakening, and we wind up being healthier and better than we ever were. So that's basically a big part of that. So we see lots of protests, pickets, drawing lines in the sand. That's been going on. That was part of the February forecast also. And it's been happening. You don't see a lot of it in the news. It's definitely been happening. A lot around Germany and Europe, a lot of protests going on. People are waking up. More not aggression, but fighting against the system is increasing. Basically, we're going to see that in March. Yeah, more people are waking up. The way things are being run are unjust. People are pushing back, and it's going to have those kind of real. So we see further disclosure. This is part of why I was talking about this being, why I opened up with that movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. One reason is, I think I wrote this in my notes somewhere, but if not, I do think that there are going to be a couple of either solar flares or events that do knock out regionally. I don't think it's going to be worldwide, but regionally there could be like cell phone or internet blackouts, not like what happened with AT&T. I mean, I don't know, who knows how that happened, but it was actually traced to a systems failure, but there just happened to be two solar flares that happened also. But then anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. So where were we? We were talking about the day the earth stood still. So that could happen, but also I see further disclosure, further contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, and that's the other part of when the day the earth stood still. That movie too might wind up being a documentary for what's going on. Of course, it took place in real time, which in 1951 in real time, not in the future. I believe it took place in real time. I could be. It's been decades since I've seen the movie. Anyway, so ETs could be it could be a story of alien beings meeting government officials. They get squashed, stuff like that. So I think there's going to be a real spike of that kind of activity with the extraterrestrial beings, making their presence more known and more felt on the planet. That could, of course, mean there's more energy around Project Bluebeam, or for those that don't know what that is, it's a conspiracy theory, actually. But if it's true, it would say that the world governments, in further effort to centralize power and control over the world, will create a fictitious UFO threat in order to seize more power and control, basically. So we'll see how that goes. Some major recalls of food items based on chemical studies or tainted food. So keep an eye on stuff like that. Make sure your food is not outdated and stuff. That just popped in. I think there's something to that. Possible first step or serving of papers to somebody like Fauci or government representatives for mishandling the pandemic and the vaccination programs. And it was about, it may have even been 2 years ago. It was 1 to 2 years. I did a whole live stream just on that and talked about what I see happening, what happened, what I see happening. And there's been drips and drabs. Again, we don't see everything that goes on, but more people are speaking out. Unfortunately, there's a higher percentage of people that have been have had health issues that are now traceable to vaccinations, particularly the one for this latest pandemic. And what's likely to be disclosed is the prior knowledge that was withheld from the public. So it's all around cover-ups more than anything. I mean, if there's a dangerous disease and there's a way to slow it down, sure, vaccine. I'm nothing against it in principle, until they start withholding information from the public. Then I have everything against it. So again, this is all alleged, just to be clear with the YouTube algorithm and you guys. But anyway, this is stuff that's likely to come up also. So what else? Possible first step. All right. Problems in Texas. They're showing a lot of problems in Texas. As I'm reading that border, what's in Texas border from Mexico? Enough said. Changes in oil prices. It could spike or really tank, but I think oil is going to be in the news. I feel like with the economy, I definitely get hiccups, especially leading to mid March, and then some adjustments. And again, this, I'm seeing like gold. It's funny. I'm seeing like Latinum. I'm thinking Star Trek now, gold Latinum, but I'm seeing gold. So again, this could be just like value of currencies based on gold, or the conjecture about the gold standard and being back on that. So hiccups, but I don't think that this is the major crash that I've heard on other channels for I think March. A couple of psychics were talking about a major economy crash. I mean, be prepared, because if somebody's picking up on it, it's in the ethers. But I feel like there could be hiccups. But if anybody's telling you the economy's strong, don't listen to them. On paper, using certain, we'll just say, misleading measures. Yeah, it may look that way, but prices are still going up. Doesn't matter for the very, very rich. They can afford it. It just devalues the middle class and the poorer people. And that's not good. But I think it's orchestrated. Anything else? I think that's about it. I know if I really sat with it longer, and I may get more. But in any event, let's do some tarot. Let me see. What time is it? Yeah, I have some divination. Oh, you know what? There's a couple of exercises. Where did I write those? So it's been one of those days that I'm a little less organized than I normally am. There wasn't a lot. They were just telling me to explain further what I mean by heart, brain, spirit coherence. because it's something that we do. It's just basically a spin on heart brain coherence from Heart Math Institute, Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, and others, based upon ancient compassion teachings, but updated with modern scientific data. Basically, basically what you do is you get present. Step number one. This is the way I do it. Get present. So present that I'm not a name, I'm not a body, I'm energy and frequency. I have a body, I have a name, and I function in the world based on that, but that's not who I am. So I want to get so present that I'm spirit, I'm energy, and just feel grateful for the now. When you really hit that, as Joe Dispenza would put it, that sweet spot of the present moment, you just can't help but to feel grateful, because no matter what's going on in your life, no matter what pain you're in, you know that the present moment is absolutely perfect just the way it is. Now, you can also augment that by what am I grateful for? And if I just think about that for a second, I mean, I'm in a warm room right now, and I have electricity, I have running water. I couldn't be more grateful, basically. So gratitude with a little bit of compassion thrown in, that taps you into what it's called the master frequency. I first heard that by a teacher named Dr. Teresa Bullard, who I mentioned from time to time on the channel, also founder of the Mystery Teaching School. Once you hit the master frequency, you're there. So when your heart becomes super coherent in gratitude, because that's what hearts want to feel: love, grateful, all those good emotions. And then you feel that magnified. Let your brain feel what your heart feels, because they're connected. That's why this works. Heart and brain is connected. Programming severs them. Spiritual practice realigns and reconnects them. And when that happens, then you become coherent with source. So that's the first step, or spirit or God. That's the first step. The second step is adding a meditation called Sitting the Power from Tony Stockwell, who's a teacher of mediumship. And when I feel that, I feel my heart, my brain, and I'm coherent with spirit. I feel my heart and brain energy expand through my auric fields in bright, brilliant white or gold light. I visualize an even greater white or gold light around me. Heart and brain are connected. They're one. I feel my aura, my heart brain energy expanding my aura, expanding into these fields of even brighter light. They become one, and you're sitting in the power. Now your heart, brain, and spirit are connected, are coherent. And that's when the beauty begins. That's when the magic happens. And you'll find that you'll be able to heal things in your own body. I've done that. I know. I'm not just speaking from what I've learned. I'm speaking from my own personal experience in more than one thing, by the way. You will start to manifest your law of attraction work. If you feel stuck, it'll start to manifest because you're tapping into that frequency of universe that created everything. Basically, it's anti-aging. It enhances the immune system, and it allows you to tap into superhuman abilities by activating dormant DNA, because we have DNA strands that are dormant, that are scheduled to go off once our frequency reaches a certain threshold. This practice will increase your frequencies, help you to reach that threshold, and these superhuman abilities will develop. So there's that. They're also saying do some yoga. Be in the eye of the storm. When you're in your heart, you're in the eye of the storm. In the eye of the storm, we're still aware that the storm is raging, but from the eye, you're in that place of calm. And it's really through the center, you start to be able to move the storm and adjust it by being in the center, in that calm place. So when you do this, you're in the eye of the storm. You know what? That's where we need to be. If I'm all panicky, how am I going to help you, and how am I going to help them? If I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's like, I can't deal with this. I'm feeling too much. But if I can be in the eye of the storm, then it's like, okay, I'm aware of what's going on, and I'm aware of what's needed. And now I can be an effective new earth leader, basically. And do lots of yoga and breathing exercises. And by the way, we have yoga classes thanks to Children's School of Yoga. That's Doreen, right here on the Medium channel. Do it. All right. I'm gonna pull a card. Spirit, direct me to the best card for the month. Here I go. They got me right to it. All right. Well, that's kind of apropos in a way, I guess. So the Five of Swords isn't as negative as it looks. It just says that sometimes you need to go into some sort of battle if you're going to be victorious. It doesn't mean that you're kicking people's butt or you have swords or whatever. It's funny. What I see is usually the message. I'm seeing this, and I've never seen this before in this card, as like the angel of death or the grim reaper. I think what they're saying is that, yeah, indeed, this is going to be a real death of the old self for a lot of us and this world. And we talked about 2024 for a few years, leading, I think, from November, December. I've been saying to keep an eye on March, particularly, although January and February, I had a lot to say about those months also. Haven't been disappointed, I'll tell you. Not everything's come through exactly the way I put it out there, but the essence of it has. I'll put it that way. So this is about overcoming. Remember, this is the 11, right? The lion's muzzle and clenched fist, overcoming the lower nature. That's the theme of March. The lower nature, anything that's holding you back individually, anything that's holding us back as a collective or a society. Do you have addictions? Do you have negative patterns? Um, are you unable to manifest money? And that might sound a little bit selfish, but no, it's not. Like you being poor does not serve anybody. You being wealthy serves everybody, because now you have resources, more resources to be free and to be able to help people. So you understand where I'm going with that, right? So this is about overcoming things from this lifetime and other lifetimes that have held you back, and working with that. If you do readings or healings, or you have a YouTube channel, it's, you do what spirit tells you to do. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but keep these themes in mind. That would be my suggestion. And I feel like there's, as I'm telling, they're saying, help people, to give them process or things that they can do to assist in that. Like I just did now, teaching you how to do my practice that I call heart, brain, spirit coherence. Um, and a lot. I see a lot of you are. Lord saying she's surprised how calm she's been over the years. So that's probably because, even though things are tough and things are difficult and challenging, you're up for the challenge, and that it's a positive thing. They keep saying that this is the lead into those thousand years, those golden years, until we face that ultimate challenge in about 1,000 years. So anyway, we'll worry about that when we get closer to 3,000, right? So anyway, I've got a couple of other things to look into here. Let's check in our Ascended Master or Angel of the Month, thanks to Kyle Gray and his, what's the name of this deck again? Divine Masters Oracle. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, as I see relevant things, I'll post. I had a lot to get out, so I haven't posted a lot of your amazing comments, but thank you for that. That's absolutely true. And we can't force anybody, and sometimes I have to relearn the lesson. It's just about who's reachable and teachable, and those are the important things. On my channel, I get a lot of negative comments. I kind of push the envelope a little bit, a lot of psychic stuff, especially on the shorts, because the YouTube short algorithm's pretty indiscriminate when it hits the short feed. So in other words, I have psychic readings going out to fundamental Christian, stuff like that. So I get a lot of negative, and sometimes I'll fire back a little bit just to give an opportunity, and then some of them I'll just delete right off if I really sense this is going to go nowhere. So, and I'm reminding myself, it's good to recognize who's reachable and teachable, not waste energy. We can't really waste energy. So anyhow, clearing mind this way. This is the card that's coming to me. But Keezy deck, interesting energy here. And divine knowledge, higher learning, to your vision through study. Maybe understand a little bit more about what Melchizedek is really about. I might do the same because I don't have a ton of knowledge, despite the fact that I studied a little bit of ceremonialism back in the day. But I do recognize a very powerful ascended master and being that works with us. And again, divine knowledge. And they were talking about new streams of information, coming through the veils of human consciousness now with this next spike in awakening in March. And I think the energies of Melchizedek are going to regulate that and assist that for us. So anyhow, frequency of the month with the sacred geometry cards. All right. Wow, did we be getting it? We got Tantra last time. Now we're getting divine masculine. We've gotten divine feminine. There's a lot of this with that, but the frequency of divine masculine supports our strong focus and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So, another interesting thing that I didn't mention in the astrology part is that all planets are direct until the last day of March when Mercury goes station. Or that might happen on April the 1st when Mercury starts its next retrograde. So this is about, so I feel like they're saying this is a month for action also. That's something I didn't mention. So that's why I like to do the divination card. We're all divine masculine, divine feminine. So if we're activating our divine masculine, we're activating the active principles. Like we've been able to formulate some plans. We have some insights. We have some ideas. We have some direction. So put things into action this month also. And you can get some more if you just gaze into the center of the card, absorb the sacred geometry, and Spirit might give you a whole different message or a whole different take on this. By the way, people that have jumped on late, as soon as we end, you can catch what you missed in the beginning of this. And quickly, let me just get an angel message, and I really do want to get going here. Give Mr. Floyd a minute or two to get into his space so he can do an amazing channeling for us. Again, that's on Mr. Floyd's channeling channel. Sometime between 7 and 7:10, he will begin Eastern time. Here we go. Found the angel card, and it is Celeste. Happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This move will usher in new positivity. And certainly, for a lot of you, this could be literal, but this could also be in energy and consciousness. We're all moving into a new home now, and a new place of employment would be a new calling in new earth or something new that we'll be able to offer and help people with. So I think that that's also part of the message. And that's what I got for you guys. So, yeah, I don't really have a lot of other announcements. Like I said, we hit 9,000 subscribers. For the contest, look at the community board and find that. And just gonna keep on keeping on. In March, we're gonna start doing long form videos again. So I know a lot of you have been missing those. And we have a new website coming out, which is super exciting. So we're gonna have a free course, a free presence meditation, and then we're gonna have some paid courses of meditations also on it. Alrighty then. Thank you. Oh, let me just pop this in and then we're going to get going. Melchizedek initiated all heart teachers who came after him. Appropriate card for you. All right. Well, thank you so much. And good night, everybody. See you at Mr. Floyd's.